Hello and welcome to Forward Compatible Podcast Episode 2 on Sunday, February 19th, 2012. I'm one of your hosts, Tony, and I'm joined, as always, by my fellow podcasters, Joe and Mark. Wanted to take this opportunity to do a quick roundtable and let everyone know what we've been playing this week since the last time we all spoke.
Well,
Mark.
Since we talked about it last week, we were doing the everyone's game of the week. Last week seemed to be Alice at one point, so Joe let me borrow that. Quite enjoyable so far. That's what I did this week.
Okay.
All right, so I have actually picked up Twisted Metal, despite last week not planning on getting it at all. Absolutely love it, and I have also put in a little time into Uncharted 3.
Excellent. I've been playing 3 games. I've been still trying to finish Assassin's Creed Brotherhood on the Xbox, and on my PS3, I've been splitting time between Twisted Metal, which I love, as well as the Jack and Daxter HD collection, which is also awesome. So,
All right, well, I'm going to start the top 10 stories of the week. First thing off, we played some Twisted Metal, me and Joe, before we started the show, and funny enough, story number 10, director of the new Ghost Rider movie wants to do a Twisted Metal movie. He says he will be writing it and directing it. Supposed to follow Sweet Tooth and Dollface. Video games movies.
That one
good.
I'd watch.
I always watch them hoping I'd get proven wrong, but Twisted Metal is such a cool story. Like, I don't know if I should do spoilers here, but
I think by now everyone's played the first level.
Yeah, it's just the first cutscene anyway with Twisted Metal. If you do Sweet Tooth's story, it's so messed up. The whole premise is he joins this tournament to win any one wish he wants, and his one wish is to kill.
Don't say who it is, because that comes up later.
Yeah,
okay.
that's not like
his
first
first handful of murders. One person gets away.
Yeah.
He wants to find her.
So the guy gets one wish in the entire world, and it's to kill someone. That's
now to find out who that one person is, you will have to play the game.
I would highly suggest it as well. It was quite good. I was surprised. I haven't done a PS3 game in a while, and that was my first PS3 game of the year.
Well, look at that.
I was pretty happy with it.
And then Dollface seems like another interesting. That could be a really good movie. I'd actually check it out. So.
All right, down to the number 9 story, since we all love GameStop so much. Story down in Florida, a child was left in GameStop and actually led to a neglect arrest. Basically, babysitter in jail.
Epic. Being a former GameStop employee, right down the street from a tutoring place, kids would walk into the store all the time. Worst possible thing.
Even when they were with their parents, when I was there, I remember it was just kind of like the parents would go hide in the corner and just let their kids run wild for a few minutes, just to like let them clear their heads. It seemed like we were always babysitters anyway.
Yeah, it's awful.
So this isn't that surprising, but it's probably a little drastic.
Yeah, this is one thing I do not miss about working at GameStop.
All right, next story. We have Apple loses a lawsuit in China, and that is actually leading to the Chinese Administration of Industry and Commerce to seize all iPads in the country other than in Beijing and Shanghai.
Okay, why just Beijing and Shanghai?
There's no explanation for it.
A, retarded, and B, retarded because they're trying to even do that.
It's stupid that those two cities are getting away with it, but they're like the commerce capitals of China. That's where all the money for the entire nation is controlled in those two cities. They gotta get it.
You know how many fucking iPads Apple has probably sold in China?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way they're going to do that.
So if you haven't heard, the story behind that is basically the iPad is a trademark name already in China.
Really?
And they lost the lawsuit saying that they can't sell them anywhere except 2 cities now in China, which really doesn't make much sense since it's illegal everywhere else. That also leads to a big warehouse full of iPads and stuff that Apple cannot sell right now. Until I don't know when they're going to get them back, but they were not given back to Apple.
Just a suggestion, in the event that Apple's actually listening, perhaps don't sell your $200 products for $900, and I'd purchase one.
Yeah.
Then you can clear out your warehouse.
This is a continuing story from last week. Apple actually went to the Fair Labor Association, and they went to audit the Foxconn plant.
Yeah. We touched on this briefly last week.
Yeah, Foxconn makes 90% of the world's iDevices, and interesting story on this. This is going to be the 40th audit at the Foxconn plant since only 2006. In the article I was reading, they're basically saying they want to find a way to improve work conditions, but it's been done 39 times before this. Like, what is 40 going to do?
That's the problem with some, like some of these markets outside of the U.S., there's not all these regulatory commissions that actually watch the way everything's being done, and it's easier to get away with not treating people the way we expect to be treated as Americans over here, These companies get away with a lot of bad stuff out there.
Anything for you, Joe?
No.
Yeah.
Not touching on this
Not
one?
touching.
No.
All right.
Stupid.
Well, story number 6 for the week. We have Sony tries to add in a free game with the PS Vita 3G model. My question is, do you think the system is too high considering the 3DS is $170? Systems range from $150 to $300. Will a $15 game and an extra $15 game, a $15 monthly price tag, and then the extra $50, will it actually matter? It's going to cost you $15 a month just to keep that model.
Yeah, new tech's always pricey, but I don't get it. It's what's the game? Do we know that or no?
Actually, I should look that up.
A $15 game.
Yeah,
that's not really gonna help me sway me one way or the other. I mean, it sounds like one of those things where if you were gonna get it anyway, that's great. It's a nice little bonus, but I severely doubt a little $15 game is gonna be like the make or break point for anyone out there who's on the fence about getting the Vita.
Especially about the 3G model and the regular Wi-Fi one, where you can save $15 and not have to pay $15 a month.
Yeah, they shouldn't have signed an exclusive deal with AT&T because you're limiting people that might dislike that service. And plus, I'm pretty sure at some point the Android market will find a way to break into it and tether it off of your cell phone. Because I know you can already run laptops off your Android if you'd like. You don't need internet reception, or you don't need reception anywhere. You could just run off your cell phone. And I'm pretty sure the Vita will end up doing the exact same thing at some point.
Let's see. I'm trying to find that Vita game. It wasn't an impressive one. I don't think that's why I posted it.
It's 250 that's so small.
Yeah. And if you want, it's the $15 for a 250 megabyte monthly service, or $30 for a 3 gig.
3 gigs. That's like
it's such a large range of actual download capacity.
Now, is this like, okay? Is this like pay as you go, like $30?
It's going to be monthly.
And you're okay. That's what I was asking. Is it $30 and you get it until you use your 3 gigabytes, or is it if you don't use your?
No, it doesn't really go over. Like, that's how much you have. If you go over, you get charged more, and if you don't, then you basically lost the money for paying for that in a month. Also, the free game is Superstar Dust Delta.
Okay.
I know Super Stardust,
but
I have it for PS3. I mean, it's a fun game, but that being
not a
free,
system seller.
No, not even close.
Looks like it's a kind of a Metroid, not Metroid, Asteroid type game.
Yeah, it's Asteroid's a little bit more intense. Geometry Wars for Xbox.
Yeah, there you go. That's the other one I was thinking of too. Yeah. So, not selling us, Sony. Sorry about that. Next big story, all you Skyrim fans, you downloaded over 2 million mods in the last week since it went up on Steam. That's an incredible amount.
Are you talking about the official one?
The official one, yes. The Sky Nexus one, that one was over 2 million a long time ago, but for only a week, they did a pretty good job.
Well, from what I understand, most of the stuff's been available forever. It's just finally sanctioned through Bethesda.
Steam, yeah. Just because it's, I don't know, if you haven't tried it yet, it's so much easier.
It makes everything so easy. It keeps everything up to date. It installs it in the right spot. It's like the greatest thing Steam ever did for me.
Yeah.
I do like my Skyrim mods.
Best thing since hats.
No, those.
Yeah. It's the best thing since hats.
All right. Next news story we got. Nintendo is going through Mickey D's, or McDonald's, if you're not up to date with my lingo, is offering a free 3DS and DS downloads in Japan. They're giving you Dragon Quest III and Slime Ship Battle DX for free. And if you beat either of those games, you get coupons for cheaper food.
Okay, why don't they do that in the States?
Right? I was thinking that too.
They kind of did. You guys forgot about when the 360 launched, the deal that went with Burger King, where you used to get the...
Okay, that's not current. That was years ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
that wasn't
now.
That wasn't really like they didn't give you coupons, did they?
Yeah, but they give you
It
full
was like
retail.
$2.
Those are like video games for like $1.99.
Yeah.
I liked them.
Oh,
You know,
no.
the Sneak King. where you
Remember
were the stalker?
$1.99
No.
video games from Burger King?
No, Sneak King was terrible. It
No
was
one was
the
this
it was
perverted.
the bumper car one was awesome.
No.
Yes, it was. That game is awesome.
Okay, do you still have it?
I do.
Damn it! There goes that theory.
I totally saw where you were going with that too. Big news story for all you MMO fans who do not have a PC to play them on, which doesn't make much sense originally. Guild Wars 2 announced they are coming to consoles.
No!
They
Yes.
No.
did. Yeah.
Yes.
Damn it.
Yes.
First thing I have to ask, do you think they're going to have cross compatibility?
I fucking hope not.
These things bring smiles to my face. Just less and less for the PC guys to stand on.
No, okay. We're gonna touch base on that later.
Last MMO I did on consoles was DC Universe. Did not really care for it though. Just not enough. It just didn't feel very MMO. It felt like a fighter to me.
Yeah.
That game is close to being good, but it's not. There's
Oh, it's
something-
great on computer.
I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't think it has anything to do with console versus PC, in my opinion. Something's wrong with that game, and I can't figure out what it is.
Yeah,
It's
I like
so
the story.
close.
The story got to me, and that's why I think I like Star Wars a lot more. Was because of that, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It just didn't keep my attention
and then
for long.
if Diablo 3, because I'm hearing that may or may not come to consoles as well.
Mm.
What are you going to have here? What are you going to have?
That's
what are you guys going to have left?
We're
Just
gonna
World of
touch base
Warcraft?
on that.
We're gonna have
in,
mods.
Is that all you guys are
We're
gonna
just
have?
gonna rely on mods.
Is that all you're going to have?
We got mods. You hang your head because we got mods.
Yeah, we got something else coming. Don't worry about it.
I don't need to alter my game. I play it the way the designers intended.
Not as good as mods.
I don't need big bad
Not as
mode
good.
or whatever.
Not as good. Okay, next topic.
All right, this is 2.5 on my list. Assassin's Creed 3 for October, which kind of goes against their November release dates, which is fine by me. It'll come before Call of Duty, hopefully help their sales. I
Probably the
believe
reason they're doing it.
Revelations already has sold 9 million copies.
Mm-hmm.
Just like 7 or 9 million. That was an odd number, not in double digits.
Well, they got to win back a lot of their crowd. I heard so much backlash from Revelations because it was rushed. It's because they're trying to do that Call of Duty thing where
Yeah, it's
I don't
They
think
gotta
we should
pump
do that.
terrible.
I can wait another year to play that.
you don't need
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed's such like a long, in-depth game, and it's so original and it's so by itself in its own wheelhouse. You don't need that game every year.
Yeah, otherwise you're gonna lose your market eventually.
I am excited about the new character coming up because as cool as Ezio is, and he is one of my favorite video game characters of all time, it was time to move on, and I want to see where the game goes from here. I want to see them maybe embark on an entire new century and try something completely different. I think it'd be really cool.
From a rumor that I heard a long time ago, it was supposed to lead up to 2012. So
Oh, I heard Revolutionary War. I heard I don't know exactly what century it was, 16th or 17th, when the Musketeers were pretty much running Paris. I heard there might be one of those.
Yeah, they have somewhere just because of how that game is. They have so many places to go with that.
You could do like early 1900s London.
Yeah, I
There's
absolutely love
some
the
cool-
Assassin's Creed
yeah.
series just for how original it is in the year.
There's some cool. You could even do some of the wars.
Yeah,
Because there's no
If you've
holding
gone-
anything that has to do with an assassin.
yeah. If you've gone to the if you play the Facebook game, the Assassin's Creed one, there's actually story based between games, between Brotherhood and Revelations, and there's actually a World War I story in that too, which is actually pretty interesting. If anyone hasn't played that out, I'd say check it out. Still kind of a fun tick based.
That
Go
does
do
sound
this.
cool.
Yeah. Number 2 news story of the week. Nintendo has just bought MobiClip again. If you don't know what MobiClip is, it is they used it for the GBA and DS. What MobiClip does is they basically take the games and they compress them a lot. It keeps a very high video quality and actually has a very low battery consumption. They didn't make the 3DS, which is why the battery consumption kind of sucks for that. So it's supposed to be for the 3DS and Wii U, so does that mean they're going to be doing an updated model of the 3DS with a better battery?
I think so, in the second directional pad or whatever, the add-on.
You'll add that on
Yeah, and it's going to
permanently.
be called a DS or 3DS Lite.
Yeah.
Actually, that's actually a really good rumor right there. That is probably what they'll do, in my mind.
Goes back into Nintendo
Either that or they will
designing.
make a straight to XL.
Yeah, they design
That could be too.
flawed
Yeah, it's
hardware.
Nintendo has this problem with everything they
Yeah,
do.
flawed hardware, and
Yeah.
then they fix it later with Wii Motion Plus add-ons and
Yeah.
dongles and stuff.
Well, I mean, they let MobiClip go after the DS, and they needed them back after they found out how bad they needed them.
I don't fully understand this, but is this pretty much going to help with the Nintendo pirates out there? It sounds like it's pre-compressing it.
Yes.
Jesus.
They
it's like they
and
asked for it.
Yeah, it's
that
just-
and it'll
it's gonna-
actually allow them to put more on their.
It will also
discs
allow us
and
to pirate things faster.
cartridges. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, then they wonder why you could stick like every single DS game ever onto one little chip and stick it in the back. Get every game. I don't know.
All right, this was my number one news story of the week. Internet kind of blew up over this week. Tim Schafer he told Notch it would cost more than $13 million to make Psychonauts 2. Notch, without blinking an eye, basically says no problem. Notch later apologized this week for the shitstorm he caused on Twitter. Schafer said, this is his quote, it was okay, but it felt like he was being proposed to on the Jumbotron at a baseball game. I laughed at that. It was
Nice.
pretty good. Nothing worth of noting just yet on the development of Psychonauts 2, other than Schafer really does want to work with Notch on it. He was saying how respected he is because he was just like a regular guy, kind of into All-Star in like a year or two. Also got some quotes. Notch, this is on Notch's blog, if anyone follows him. He usually posts some interesting stuff. Point is, stop hyping over this, internet, concluded Notch. You're going to scare me into doing things secretly instead of being open and transparent via Twitter. I am incredibly scared of the very real risk of people feeling let down just because I took a chance at something that doesn't end up panning out. And he joked, I realize you won't stop piping, so I'll just go into hiding for a few years if it falls through. Pretty good. Notch was... They kind of joked about it later this week after they kind of had a mini panic attack earlier this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just while we're on the subject of Tim Schafer, the Double Fine Studio released the original target of the Kickstarter program was to get $400,000. As of yesterday, they are very close to $2 million right now.
Very good.
Whores.
Yeah, basically. Then basically they're also talking this week how they might use Kickstarter to do Psychonauts 2.
Going back to what you're saying, I hope Notch doesn't stop talking about what he does, because he's one of the people I look up to the most in the industry, like him and Jaffe in particular, because they just say what's on their mind. They don't try to hide everything and be like, oh, we don't comment on rumors and blah, 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 and just hide between all their comments. They actually come out and say what they're thinking and what they feel, and that's going to be bad if everybody just kind of scares them into submission and they don't talk about what they're thinking or what they're feeling or what they're doing anymore.
Yeah, no, I really respected him for saying that, like, he wants to be very open about what's going on, and maybe like him a lot more.
It's like people, I guess they want him to go back into hiding, like right now. Like everybody knows, like the PS4 and the new Xbox are in development, but
I hope you got that rumor, by the way, Joe, for later.
Which
The
one?
PS4.
yeah.
If not, I'll tell you when we go off air here, and then we can get to it later.
Okay.
But it's like with those, I mean, wouldn't you guys rather just Sony and Microsoft come out and just put an end to it and be like, yes, we're making it, instead of like hiding? I just hope I hope I hope Notch sticks with his guns and just.
I think he will. It's been like 2 years where he's just been very open about what's going on.
Yeah.
He's very down to earth, from what I understand.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically top 10 right there for the week. If you guys, totally forgot. Continuing story from last week when we were doing the Steam calculator for all you people who made it. I think it was like over an hour into the podcast.
Yeah.
I did my podcast, my Steam calculation. My total was $1,300.07.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I didn't pay over like $300 for it.
Yeah. Yeah, Steam's pretty cool. I see full retail games for like $5 sometimes.
Yeah. I just bought Dear Esther yesterday, which is like a story-based walkthrough game. Kind of interesting so far.
If I was super on PC, I swear to God, I think I'd just buy stuff just to buy stuff because it'd be like, dude, how do you like? I heard, Borderlands with all the DLC,
$750.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Regularly.
That's what I got.
I already
like
have
5 times a year.
Yeah, I already have it. Already have all the DLC on the Xbox. I'd just be like, how do you pass all that up for $7?
Yeah,
and it would just sit on my gaming like the backlog and never get touched. But it's like, how do you go to sleep letting that go by?
The same problem I have. I'll get drunk. I'll be on my computer.
Oh, I need this.
And then I'll buy Train Simulator 2012 for $4.
You know,
it's a $50
we
game.
have so many people wanting me to like, this is the greatest game ever when you just don't want to do anything. I need to get it, but it's $35 right now. I need to sale. I am going to buy it. Because people are just like, it's amazing.
I just pictured Joe waking up like kind of hungover, half in the bag. So he's just like, oh, what happened last
with
night?
a train hat on.
And he just looks at his PC and he's like, oh my God, what did I download?
No, I really do enjoy the game.
Goes to the Fifth Third account. Oh, jeez. No, to Steam calculator it wasn't this high yesterday.
Oh, man. Speaking of Steam calculator, Mark, how much is your account worth?
Oh, that's what it said. The $13.90.07.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I got like 100 games. I went down the list. It's actually a really cool website. If you haven't gone to Steam Calculator, it shows you how much you're either saving or losing.
Mostly losing.
Yeah, mostly losing. I don't think you can actually gain. Yeah.
Oh. Is that wrap up news?
Yeah, that's basic news for the week, guys. Hopefully I'll do it better next week. That's all I got for you.
All right, so this week we got one email. I want to talk about Facebook, whatever. Same difference. Wants to talk about Battlefield, why it's better than Call of Duty, because obviously it is. And he also says, Mark, that the Avalanche sucks.
I think it's suck it. Suck it, Rick.
So he wants the good and bad of Battlefield, yes?
The good and bad of Battlefield.
Okay.
All right, here's my favorite thing. I'm just going to start out with this. I was playing at 4 in the morning one day, shortly after I got the game. Online, tired as balls, ready to go to bed, being a complete asshole. Someone killed me, switch classes, pull out a rocket launcher, 7 rockets into a building collapses, 13 kills.
That is cool.
That's not
That
right.
was awesome.
That's not right.
I like the multiplayer aspect, obviously 100 times better than Call of Duty. It's not broken. The guns are actually weighted. When you look down the sights, you actually get some hop when you're firing bullets. It's not so like animated and cartoony that like how Call of Duty's designed. Multiplayer is just all around a way better design.
Call of Duty is totally an arcade game.
That's what it is.
I really like the game modes as well.
Yeah.
Like they're just different than Call of Duty as well. Call of Duty, it's mostly about can't remember what it is. I used to play like Capture the Flag and shit like that. But then you have the Conquest. Conquest, I think, is like so much fun.
I hope they bring what is it from Bad Company 2? What is it? Onslaught. I hope one of the
that would be fun.
It's one of the modes I did not get to do.
Oh, I love. It's like reverse horde mode. It's kind of you're going
like
into
Beast
the
mode?
group.
Sort of.
Instead of you just kind of sitting back and camping and waiting for the 50 or 60 enemies for that round to come at you, you're literally, you and your 3 teammates are breaking into a section with 50 people trying to take down a flag, and they're holding you off.
That'd be interesting.
So it's kind of reverse. And that's one of my favorite. Yeah, it's one of my favorite parts from Bad Company 2. I really hope they bring that to Battlefield 3 because it's a better game. Some dislikes. The campaign was not bad when you just hold it by itself, but it was just too big of a ripoff of Call of Duty.
Not enough destruction.
I
you couldn't
really
blow
missed that from
everything up.
Bad Company too. How you could destroy like everything, and it just didn't seem like I could do that.
But those guys can obviously write a good game. The Bad Company stories are awesome.
Oh yeah, no, that's not the thing. It was just because like they use Frostbite engine. Frostbite engine's great, but
Yeah.
they didn't really use the destruction aspect of it well enough.
In the campaign?
Yeah, in the campaign, definitely.
Plus, it was kind of a stupid story.
Yeah, I wasn't really into it as well.
It really was boring. I was just kind of going through the motions. I actually prefer Call of Duty campaigns. That's the one thing I really do enjoy from the Call of Duty series is the campaigns. They're
Yeah,
too
I
short.
agree with that.
They are too short.
Too short, but they're really good while they do last.
Yeah. But Battlefield, I mean, it was the same length. They really... It's like, just go try to do something different. We get that Call of Duty sells, a gazillion copies every year. It's going to do that year in and year out until everybody gets tired of it. But that doesn't mean you can't be successful doing your own thing. You don't have to try to make a carbon copy of whatever it is that Call of Duty was doing and what they found to be successful for them. So I don't like that Battlefield did that. I just think they should have stuck with their own thing, made their own story. However it turned out is fine, but don't try to make a carbon copy of what Call of Duty did. I did not like their campaign.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
I would say my dislikes. I do notice a lot. It's a lot harder for me to get a better score with a 64 player server instead of like the 32. Just because I end up being shot in the back a lot.
Yeah,
It gets annoying after a while because like I went from like scores that were like well above kill to death ratio, and then I was at like half at one point, and it was only in the course of like one server change.
Yeah. It also made me think of another thing that I do like, which is you actually get to pick your spawn location, which Call of Duty does not let you do.
Yeah.
Once you're dead, I can't tell you how many times in Call of Duty I'm playing multiplayer and I get shot, you respawn, and you literally spawn into bullet fire.
Yeah.
It's awful. And you can still do that in Battlefield, but it's your own stupidity because it gives you 4 options, and if you chose to jump into bullet fire, then it's your own fault instead of spawning somewhere that was safe.
Usually it seems that their spawn system, even when you are under fire, is pretty good. I think I only died like once over the course of like last week or two of playing, where it was like I spawned and died instantly. Usually they get you off the action just a little bit.
Yeah.
Which was a lot nicer because you have a second or two to, figure out what's going on still.
Yeah, you get a chance to get your bearings.
Yeah, because yeah.
Sometimes in Call of Duty, before you even make a revolution, just to see where you are on the map, you already got your head blown off. Especially
So
with
true.
spawn campers and stuff, because it's the same few spots on every map, because it's broken. Call of Duty is broken, the multiplayer. And that nobody wants to admit it, and I don't know why. I don't know why everybody defends their multiplayer mode. It's terrible. But you jump in, and it's just, people can just literally sit there and wait at one of the 2 or 3 areas where they know you will spawn every time you die, and just keep blowing your head off.
Guns just need to be really balanced in Modern Warfare. Just because there's some that are just way, way overpowered.
Every game has its, even going back to, I don't remember which one it was in the first Modern Warfare, but then with World at War, I remember it was the MP40, and then, just every single game has that one gun that is ridiculously overpowered compared to everything else in the arsenal, and everybody figures it out.
1908s from Modern Warfare 2, is that what it was? The dual shotguns that everyone ran around with. Yeah,
and it's just bullshit. It's like it's weighted so incorrectly, and everybody figures it out eventually, and then everybody's running around with the same gun built to the same specs because that gun
kills
is
your
bullshit.
individuality too.
Yeah.
So I definitely like that about the Battlefield series because there is a lot more difference between guns. Maybe not with the sniper rifles, I've noticed, but for the most part with everything else, it seems like everyone has at least a few different items.
I do like that too, what they did with... It's kind of a little unrealistic, but I like what they did with Battlefield, a little bit of glare that you get from somebody's
lens
offset.
flare.
Because it's so unfair. I mean, it's a video game. It's meant to be fun, and if some guy is too scared to run out and he just wants to sit back and snipe, that's fine. It's his game time, and he can spend it however he'd like. But it's a little unfair when a guy's running around with, a close quarter machine gun, and he's getting picked off from 300 yards away, and the guy doesn't even know where the bullet fire is coming from.
Yeah, the little glare from the sniper thing was really nice. I also like that. Well, actually, I say I dislike the when you have the red laser. That glares so much where I can barely actually see the guy who's actually aiming at me.
Yeah,
the red dot laser or whatever.
Yeah. The sight laser.
Yeah,
it's all in the interest of making it a little bit more balanced. I think they did a really good job with that because, like I said, in Call of Duty, it's just terrible. Plus, the hit sensor in Call of Duty is so broken compared to Battlefield as well. That little X that comes up when you actually make contact with a bullet is just. Sometimes it's so. Even after I watch the kill, like the kill cam, like how they murdered me, and I'll sit there and watch, and it's like their cursor isn't even physically on my body, but it's still counting for a hit. And that's how broken their multiplayer is, and you don't really come across that as much in Battlefield. You actually have to aim at the person and shoot them in order to kill them, instead of just their general area.
I agree. We also just got a second question in, if you guys are interested. This one's from Jason. If you were able to merge two different video game franchises together, like Marvel vs. Capcom, etc., what would you choose? The franchises don't have to be from the same genre, but, you know, the more creative, the better.
I actually have I don't. This is kind of taking my own liberties, but I do have the perfect game that I want, but it'll never ever come to fruition. What I want is a Super Smash Brothers, but with.
That's good.
No. Well, no, because that's stuck in Nintendo's wheelhouse. I want one where everybody agrees and it goes multi-platform, and you literally get all the greatest video game characters of all time in a fighting game. Where Sub-Zero could represent Mortal Kombat versus Sonic versus Mario versus Kratos from God of War.
Cutting off Mario's head. Just think of that for a second.
Nintendo would never let that.
Nintendo might cry every time you do it.
And then you got Nathan Drake going up against Master Chief, and it'd have to go multi-platform so everybody would get a reason to put their characters in.
Killing Link.
Oh yeah, Link versus Nathan Drake. That'd be awesome.
It has to be brutal though. That's the only way I'd like to see it. But that's another reason.
Yeah, and it'd have to run off Microsoft's servers because obvious reasons. But that's what I don't know if that's exactly answering the question in the way he wanted. But if that's what I would love, a fighting game across all platforms, even past platforms, but just all of them put together, the greatest characters. But, oh man, that'd be so cool. That'd be so cool. Kirby against...
I would like to see Twisted Metal in Fallout 3.
So you could get out and actually, roleplay?
Yeah.
And you'd be...
An open world Twisted Metal.
Tooth?
Basically, yes. But with a campaign like Fallout.
That'd be very cool.
That'd be fun.
That's interesting.
Oh, man. Now this leaves me. I've been thinking this whole time, what would I like to see together? Man, guys, keep talking. I need a minute here.
Oh, he's got to think it out.
Yeah, I really don't.
I'm trying to think of something else I'd like as well.
Yeah, another good...
I would like some kind of... Even, I know we got done talking about Call of Duty, but I would like to see a more story-driven... It could even be
that one got canceled if you're talking about a more story-driven Call of Duty.
Yeah,
it got canceled
because there's no multiplayer. Well, there could be it doesn't necessarily have to be like an RTS or even third person. It could still be first person too, but something bigger. Maybe like a 4-person co-op campaign, like a big 15-hour big military shooter, not a little 3.5-hour campaign with some shoved in. Well, yeah, but Gears is over the shoulder third person.
They can make it first person.
I just kind of thought
run around and actually collect more intel. Do some sneaky stuff. Have some sniping levels, some covert op missions.
4-person Bad Company would be awesome.
Yeah. Well, there's 4 characters. Yeah. Maybe Bad Company 3 if they ever do decide to make it.
Mm-hmm. I almost want. I don't know if anyone's played Battle Stations, the series. Basically, it's like a kind of like a.
Like an RTS,
mixed in with like a regular shooting action game. Basically, I kind of like to see that mixed with some kind of co-op like Borderlands. That's the one thing.
Yeah.
Just because the whole going between the ordering them to do it and then doing it yourself was really cool. And I guess making it co-op would have been much better.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Can I throw one in?
Yeah,
Can I be a reader question?
Sure.
What would you guys... I just looked over, and I know mine already. Okay, an unannounced sequel to any series. What would your pick be?
Kingdom Hearts.
Red Dead.
See, mine's between Red Dead and Uncharted 4. I would love either one of those. So bad.
Yeah.
I need Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't need these crappy handhelds they keep making. Screw you, Square Enix.
Screw you, Square.
Pissed off beyond belief at your company.
Yeah. With Uncharted, it'd be really cool, but I know they left the series in a spot where it'd be all right to die off. But I agree, Red Dead would also. I would love Red Dead too.
I actually do have a better one. The Star Wars Jedi Outcast could use another one.
See, if I was going to go
Dark Forces, Jedi Outcast, and Jedi Academy, and I'm missing one in there right now.
Yeah, if I was going to go in the Star Wars wheelhouse, I'd want a KOTOR 3.
That's another good one too. Yeah, I would enjoy that.
Yeah, updated. BioWare would have to make it again.
Yeah. Well, BioWare, I think we discussed it last week. They already took out Domain for Mass Effect 4.
Oh, you know what else I want? Jesus, now talking about Star Wars, I want a Force Unleashed 3.
That's really actually, now I think about that, is kind of where the Star Wars Jedi Outcast went, but...
Well, they actually were given the rights to like kind of fill in the gaps in between the actual movies. They're one of the few video games that were allowed to do that, and they were initially supposed to make 3, but the second one, not that it got poor reviews, it just got so much bad feedback because how short it was.
It was an expansion pack.
I don't think they're going to make number 3, and I really hope that they do.
It's Star Wars and LucasArts. It will happen. Yeah. They just will. If he keeps coming out with things in theaters, he'll have enough money to make whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah. Okay, sorry about that side distraction.
No,
no, we're distracted.
Conversational podcast.
We all knew this was going to happen right from the beginning.
Oh yeah.
We got any more questions?
No, that's it for right now.
Send in the emails, guys. Let us know what you guys think of the show.
Send the emails, forwardcompatiblepodcast@gmail.com.
Yep. Either that, or if you're that lazy, you can just put it on the Facebook wall. We do read that.
Give us a like on that.
Yeah, you can post questions to the Facebook wall as well.
Yeah.
The email link is also on the Facebook info page.
Yeah. Also, if you guys, whatever you guys thought about us doing a live stream, because we could actually have you guys listen, send in live questions as we speak, and have like kind of a wall going where we could read them up and do it all live for you.
Yeah, we could do that as well.
Let us know if you guys want that.
I would actually like to do that.
I want to give it a shot one of these days, too.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Maybe next week.
Okay.
All right, so let's see. We're going to move on to rumors.
Rumor mill.
Rumors. All right. We'll start at the bottom with the system that everyone hates. Nintendo
PC?
Wii U.
Oh, okay.
No, it's definitely not the PC. Because, real gamers like me and Mark have PCs to play games on. All right, so rumor here has the Wii U screen on the controller.
The
tablet. Going to be HD and 3D.
I don't doubt it. They obviously have the tech. I mean, they made
this also goes back to the buying mobile. Was it mobile? Whatever. Man, what's that company name that I just read off in my news story? MobiClip. There you go. Yeah. MobiClip. They do 3D and HD. So that leads directly into that. So I would say that it will definitely happen.
I still don't like that any of these things are the primary device. I think they should all be secondary controllers to an actual controller, for lack of a better word. But I'm just, it's fine. Make a little 3D motion, whatever, in HD and all that crazy stuff. That's cool. But have it be secondary for certain games.
Now, at the bottom of this page, it also says that there's a possible name change for the Wii U.
To what?
Don't know.
Wii better?
This is something that happened with the first Wii. It was codenamed Revolution, which would have been, way the fuck better.
I think they should just call it the Nintendo.
They already did that.
Yeah.
When?
Nintendo.
It was the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Whatever.
NES.
No, see, they can't do that because Nintendo's the brand.
This is the second time that they're ever reusing, or that they're reusing like a name. Every thing was just, it was.
I'm sorry, Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah. This is Super. It wasn't.
Which was better than?
Let's add one word in front of it, a describing word.
Yeah.
Why don't we just call it the Super Wii?
There's no N64 too.
We should call it the Super Wii.
Super Wii.
Super Wii.
I like better Wii. You gotta know what you're buying.
Dude, what do you mean
better than what I had?
You mean good Wii?
It's just better.
Last generation Wii.
All right. Moving on. We got a Dead Space 3 rumor. And this time around, we're going to be on a planet.
Ooh, not a ship.
We are not on a ship.
That takes away from the entire...
We have
Can I still fly in
crash
space?
landed onto a planet.
Does that mean I can't do zero gravity?
Probably not.
Oh man, I'm pissed already.
Dead Space is cool because, like, how... Not intimate, but, like, how, like, close-quartered and small... that's what made it scary.
Right.
Because you were just, like...
And
claustrophobic.
When I was reading the article, that seemed to be the biggest complaint, is that now being on a planet, it's not going to be close quarters.
Nice
not,
long range. I see you coming.
No.
It's not
It's not
right.
just them popping out of like air vents and shit, like totally taking you by surprise.
Yeah.
It's
so. What do we think? Total flop? Not scary enough?
Just because of how they succeeded in the first two games, I think they'll make it work. I doubt it's going to be completely wide open spaces. I'm sure there's going to be quite a bit. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of building you're in for most of the game.
That's what I was gonna say. It could still be on a planet, but what they have you do is beat like almost like the castle system from the earlier Marios, where you kind of go into one building because there's some kind of thing that you have to accomplish in that set building, and it'll turn into mini spaceships all over the planet.
I'm sure Nintendo loves that we're putting Dead Space and Mario together.
Whatever, man. I segue like a madman, sir. That's what I do. But you know, you take over each little building. One at a time, and those all act as their own little personal ships, and then just like the little voyage onto the next one maybe would be a little lame, but or maybe fast travel. They could get rid of it so many different ways.
I think it could still work because you know, id Software made Rage work.
It's
I
true.
disagree.
That's
It's a really boring
that's why
game.
you don't have a computer.
It's a really boring game.
No, it's
But
a lot
can
of
you
fun.
can you
Go
wing
beat the
stick
game.
in any other game?
Yeah, wing stick.
I don't give
Can
a
you
fuck
wing
about
stick?
sticks. I don't wing stick my ass, sir. It's well, it sounded terrible. Now,
Actually, that wouldn't work.
I am not cutting that.
The wing stick only goes to the head.
But it's just, I don't know. Nothing new came from that game. It was nothing from ID.
No.
Those
Wing
guys,
sticks came from that.
They
Yeah, wing stick.
created the first person shooter. It should be so much better than that game was.
And then it turned into car racing.
I love
Twisted
that.
Metal.
They did that. It felt like a 5-year-old game. There was just a terrible story behind running around and collecting items.
You know,
off
I actually didn't
people.
care
It
for the
was
story
not-
really either.
It's not a good game.
I really enjoyed the gameplay. altogether.
Gameplay wise, I did like.
Yeah. It was a pretty game.
But the story did lack.
Yeah, story lacked. Car combat was actually my favorite part of that whole game.
Yeah,
which,
because it's Twisted Metal.
Yeah, just blowing up stuff.
How dare you make fun of Twisted Metal in such a way?
It is.
It was looking at you right now.
Twisted
For the people
Metal.
can't see, there's Twisted Metal looking at us right now.
It's like, what did you say about Rage?
Twisted Metal plus Fallout equals Rage. Divided by 2. Eat it.
Times
Eat it.
pi.
Times pi. I want pie.
Well, if your fridge wasn't empty, there may be a pie in there.
Yeah, shut up. All right. Moving on. I think I want to skip this one.
By all means.
We're gonna skip that one. Let's see. Next up on the list, 3 major Australian supermarket stores will not be stocking the Vita.
Why?
Too expensive.
Oh, they can't purchase it. They don't have enough.
I think that's a cop out. People are the retailers are mad because you can buy everything cheaper on that's why a lot of companies didn't want to sell the Go because
It's all the crap.
we all know better because we all worked at GameStop too. You know, we barely GameStop physically didn't make next to nothing off new game sales.
Yeah, basically.
They virtually
$2.
make nothing. So these retailers, they don't make much off you actually purchasing the brand new Vita. Where it comes is later on through all the hardware and the accessories and all that other stuff that you'll continue to buy through the Best Buys and the GameStops and stuff like that after you get the Vita. And if you're going to be buying everything through the marketplace, they're just not happy about the $20 they might make on the Vita, and it's taking up shelf space, and they're probably not moving as quick as Sony anticipated that they were.
No, not at all.
I'm sure shipping sucks down there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Plus, it's probably twice as much over there.
The PSP Go actually had the same thing, that these same 3 supermarkets did not stock them at all.
Exactly why.
Did they do 3DSs?
They did.
Maybe they just hate Sony.
But
Could
3DS
be.
was the same price, but you actually buy all those games and stuff. For the
Well,
3DS.
that's what I was saying before. It's
It's
coming
a
out. It's
cop-out.
way overpriced right now for what else you can get for the exact same price.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Let's
go on.
So, NVIDIA's, team of market researchers are saying that PC gaming will surpass console gaming in the next few years.
What's Tony think?
No, it's not going to happen, guys. It's not. PCs, they're just two different wheelhouses. They're never like, I've been hearing this since I was a little kid. It was all about PCs, and it was all about console. They're both going to continue.
And yet you never got into it.
They're both going to continue on forever. Neither one is going to overtake the other.
I do agree with that. I don't like. What do they base that on? Because I've also heard that rumor.
It's
for years
stupid because
well.
okay, for as advanced as the PCs are, and blah blah blah, and they're 3 generations ahead of current consoles. Why do all the manufacturers still make everything for the console, and then it gets ported over to the PC? With the exception of a few, like the new Star Wars game and World of Warcraft, and the select few games and Diablos and stuff like that. 99% of every game that comes out for consoles first, then gets ported onto the PC because the
Witcher
PC
2.
is on the back. It's on the back burner.
Witcher 2, opposite way.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. One game.
That's the 1%. They are Witcher 2. You are the 1%.
That's what. But that you guys know what I'm trying to say, right?
No,
it's just silly. But PCs are never going to go away either because without PCs, consoles will never grow. Like everything gets screwed up on the PCs first. That's why you have like tearing and stuff like with the games that come out and terrible because it's so. We should save this for the big one that I want to go into with the PCs versus consoles, but there's
too late.
Yeah, I mean, but like consoles have also modeled themselves off of the PC as well.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah,
PCs push consoles forward.
Yeah, years ago you couldn't, like all these fucking games that have patches afterwards. Yeah, you couldn't do that back on Xbox before that, really. I mean, except the multiplayer ones on PS2. I know you'd update, but yeah, but you were stuck with it when you released it. If it wasn't working,
it was broken.
It's broken. It's your fault. This is changed with having internet connection to everything, but that was always PC. PC games, like back in the day, oh man, those things you had to download like so many patches.
I just think they work together even though they work against each other. I think PCs push consoles further, but like I said, I mean, if PCs were really the superior way to go, all these designers would be designing everything for the PC community.
I think it also has a lot to do with that PCs have to be updated with like $300 worth of
don't have the money for
new
that.
hardware
you can
every few years.
Right.
While 360s you buy it once, you don't have to worry about upgrading any hardware.
Yeah, for 6-7 years you're set.
Going back to what we talked about last week, it's dummy proof.
It's dummy proof.
Yeah, that's why systems sell a lot more games, just because it's one system. There's only one graphics card that companies have to
design for, and it'll work because with PC, every game that comes out immediately.
Oh yeah, you have to have support for 100 different graphics cards.
Everybody's complaining the next day that for 70% of the people it doesn't work, and then they have
it's
to
not
go
the developer's fault.
crazies.
They can't have
It's
every
impossible.
computer with every graphics card in it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's why half the updates on Android screw up some of the.
And they have so many bitching
some of the apps
that
it's
they
like,
can't play it anymore. Doesn't
nobody
open.
told you. Yeah, nobody told you to
Same
get the
thing.
$20 free Android phone that came along with get a better phone then.
$20 free Android phone.
Whatever. Yeah. There's $20 free ones.
Yeah, $20 free. Well, here's the other thing about this topic is a GeForce GTX 580 is about 10 times more powerful than the 360's graphics card. And the GTX 580 is like $200 graphics card. That's like nothing for computer gamers.
Yeah, but you can buy an entire Xbox for $200 almost.
Yeah, and it would be like far less superior.
I still stick
Xbox still has a huge community around it, which is a little bit harder to find in PC.
Xbox still has the better online community.
Yeah.
Way over PC. PC
That's why I don't
just
mind
a bunch of
spending
modders and
$40-50 a year
hackers that aren't content with the way the game was designed, and they want to switch everything around. They're like, there's that sense of entitlement that's just like, oh well, the developer doesn't know, the developer
that I want
is worth $100 million or even more, or whatever, clearly doesn't know as much as me, sitting at home on my PC. So I should totally change everything around. It's bothersome.
To say the least.
Yes.
All right.
I actually do want to touch on
go.
that one too.
I got two more. Well, yeah, we could touch on that. You bring it up later.
All right.
I got two more, and I guess Tony will have one as well. But we're gonna go me, Tony, me again. Ed Boon, many of you may know, Mortal Kombat, on his Twitter page has a post At Seth Killian. Yes, great to be catching up with you. Looking forward to our first MK vs. Street Fighter meeting.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Why water down Mortal Kombat?
Good question. Because
I know
it will
there's some
sell.
Street Fighter fans out there that would say, why water Street Fighter down? And I could get that too. Just leave him alone. I don't know. Leave it alone.
It's going to be a whole nother
leave it alone.
Mortal Kombat for DC.
I don't think they should do it.
Flop.
Yeah.
But see, that goes back to the game that with Jason's question that I would like to see, like, Guile go against Sub-Zero. That'd be pretty freaking badass.
Sub-Zero would rape him.
Yeah. Well, see, that brings up another interesting point is, in like, if these characters were real, is like, who would really be the most badass character ever? And Sub-Zero could just freeze anybody.
Yeah.
He'd be tough to beat.
Well, so would Scorpion with his little grappling hook.
But you could freeze him mid grappling hook.
Also true.
Mm-hmm. Sneaky.
Yeah.
But Raiden could decoy. He could just pop behind you.
Yeah, I don't know what the guys are talking about either. It's okay, guys.
Huh?
Nothing.
Mortal Kombat.
You weren't a Mortal Kombat fan in your youth?
I don't really do much fighting.
Are we going to make you play Mortal Kombat after?
I'm a lover, and then I play UFC from last week, too.
I'm a lover, not a Mortal Kombatter. Alright, you say you wanted me to take one?
Yeah, go for it.
I actually have two.
Oh, man, this guy.
I'm sorry. There's just a lot of rumors.
Making this way too long.
Okay, the first one is Skyrim possibly coming to the Wii U.
I think they'll do it.
Yeah.
I think they will too, and it's stupid. Same thing with Batman Arkham City. Nintendo's like bragging. They're like, we're going to get Skyrim and we're going to get Arkham City. It's like the rest of the world, they're going to be out for a year by the time the Wii U comes out.
Got their awards for it, and they have nothing else to do now.
This is your big. These are your big selling points. Oh, we're not even coming out to holiday 2012 probably, but we're getting last year's games, last year's smash hits. They're coming to our console. Kind of lame. I don't know. Maybe focus on getting Borderlands 2 and stuff on the Wii U. Don't be focusing on
I'd say look for
crap
new
that's been out for
releases.
8 months, 9 months, 10 months.
It'll still sell, but
Of course it'll sell, but it's...
it's also with, Batman's very dark game and Wii's very family-oriented,
Yeah.
which I think they're going to lose some of their audience because of that. I mean, it's not going to be their main console for any reason, but, it's something else that'll get a little bit of sales, I suppose.
Yeah, it'll help. I'm sure it'll sell, but doesn't make much sense to me. That was all. I just want to touch on that one real quick. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What else you got?
The other one?
Yeah.
The other one I wanted to bring up was there is talks that the next Call of Duty is going to be the Black Ops 2. Joe, I know you hate Call of Duty more than any of us
I'm
sitting at
this
this
out.
table. Sitting this one now. But I think it's interesting if it is happening because of the two bigger... Well, up until recently when, like, Sledgehammer got involved and stuff, but up until then it was always the Infinity Ward versus Treyarch, and with the exception of Call of Duty 3, which was probably the worst in the series, I'm actually a bigger Treyarch fan than Infinity Ward, and I know that kind of goes against the grain because most people like Infinity Ward better, but I'm actually looking forward to seeing if this is it because... The Modern Warfare series obviously wrapped up. Sorry, spoilers, but you should have played it by now. It's months old, and it's only the best-selling video game of all time. So I'm sorry if you haven't bought it yet. But the story
You can write angry emails about it next week.
Send them in. But I don't think... now that the Modern Warfare series is over and Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer are going to have to go a new route for the game that's coming up in a year and a half or whatever. But... Black Ops and Treyarch have the opportunity right now to hop in and really take control of the series and take it in the direction they want and show that they are now the superior developer of those companies now that Infinity Ward kind of broke up. I think it's really their chance to shine, and I'm actually rooting for them. I hope they do a good job with it.
Just if you Google Black Ops 2, there's, if you weren't watching the news about a month ago, Activision did buy rights to BlackOps2.com. Currently, what is this? I'm just Googling right now. There's two different sites. It's the BlackOps2.com and there's a BlackOps2.com game, and they're both, like, basically just saying what he just said.
Which is what?
The rumors that it was cited on Amazon France yesterday, day before that.
And it's no surprise. It's an art thing. I don't know why Call of Duty's like wait so long to announce their
Yeah, I
game.
mean, they
It's
could
like-
just be like, hey, guys, day of, here's the next one. You want to reserve it already?
Yeah.
And you get 150
Yeah,
reserves.
the next day after Modern Warfare 3 came out, it's like they could have already announced it. Everybody gets it. It's coming out every fall. There's a Call of Duty. Until they stop selling a gazillion dollars. And it's a business. I
not gonna
don't
be for a
blame
while.
them. If people keep outselling the last copy, why stop making them?
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. Those are my two rumors.
All right.
Got into a little tangent there.
Here we go. Oh, you can get into a tangent about this one too.
Can we get angry, too?
You can. Tony won't.
Oh, okay.
Why is it about PCs?
No. Wow. Okay.
Somebody's vibrator.
We said turn those off.
No, it's because my battery's fully charged.
Oh, whatever.
It's just alerting me.
All right. So I don't know if either one of you. Well, Mark doesn't because he doesn't have a PS3. Tony, do you watch Pulse at all?
Pulse?
Mhm.
I do not.
Okay.
I know what it is, though.
I don't even know what that is.
Apparently. Well, that's good. That means you don't know about this.
Do not.
On Valentine's Day, actually, so this is quite an old rumor, Sony hinted at the existence of Uncharted 4.
What'd they say?
And gasp, you should.
Archer reference. Gasp, you should. I like it. I like a la.
Yeah.
Do you have what they actually said?
I do not. I did not watch it.
I just hope it doesn't turn into Mummy Returns.
And hopefully Naughty Dog actually makes it, unlike the one on Vita.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story.
Well, I mean, with like I was going to Mummy Returns because The Mummy was an awesome movie. I don't know if you guys seen it. And then they had nowhere to go with Mummy Returns, so they threw in a stupid kid, and they were like, oh, and the movie sucked. And Uncharted was so great, it was The Mummy, and I just hope they're not just like, oh, look, Elena and Nathan had a kid now, and he came along, and now they're all running through. I just hope they don't screw it up.
Yeah. And there's a video you can watch.
I wouldn't doubt they're making it, because I heard Naughty Dog actually got split up into two companies post Uncharted 2. One group worked on Uncharted 3, half the studio, and the other half started working on the new IP that just got announced. What the hell is it? Last of Us?
Yeah.
So they secretly split that company into two developers. So now Last of Us is coming out. So what's the team that just brought out Uncharted 3? What are they working on? Is it a new IP for PS4? Is it Uncharted 4? What's going on?
Did they start writing an Uncharted movie?
Perhaps.
That'd be good.
It'd be Indiana Jones in the modern day.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Indiana Jones again.
Or Tomb Raider, but better.
Yeah.
Wittier.
Well, we're only going to pretend there's 3 Indiana Joneses.
Oh, okay, that's
We
fine.
don't
Then
talk,
I'm happy.
we don't talk about the other one.
There's only 3.
There is only
Indiana
3. We don't talk about the other one.
Jones. What other one?
Do you hear they're making another one?
Are they really?
Yeah. They got Harrison Ford back on, but I just hope
Really?
I just hope Shia LaBeouf or whatever is not like they accidentally kill off his kid. Or
Are
whatever.
they going to bring Sean Connery
So
back too?
Fucking stupid.
Beginning of the movie, dead. A lot of people look pissed.
Man, George Lucas just has to let some of these series die. Like everybody's got this nostalgia going on, like Star Wars when he brought it back, and too much Jar Jar Binks and too much Shia LaBeouf in the fucking...
Yeah. How was Star Wars 3D, by the way?
I liked it as much as you could like that. There's still way too much Jar Jar. The big fight scenes, the big battles, the big dual lightsaber with battle against Darth Maul. Awesome in 3D. Just
awesome.
Just good times. But yeah, far too much Jar Jar. Like I don't know. He's probably in half that movie, which is half the movie. Way too long.
Yeah.
Just bad. Just bad. God, is he annoying.
Yeah, I don't know who
Oh,
wrote
you
him
guys
in.
should all see the blank stare on Tony's face.
He's so bad. All right, we're going to hop right back into our final segment of the week, and that is Tony's Topic of the Week.
Cue stupid music.
Okay. Now, as you guys know from last week, I do not tell my fellow podcasters what I'm going to be bringing up, so these are all reactions they come up with from the top of their head. This week I was torn between a few great topics all the way up until the bitter end. Actually, up until a little earlier this morning when I finally decided on one because I had to have enough time to prepare for this. But all the ones that are left out will be coming up in the upcoming weeks. Without further ado, we will be discussing a look ahead. Xbox versus PS3 is the 360 in trouble? Now, give me a second to explain what we're looking for, because this can easily turn into a flame war, which is not what I'm going for. We're going to be focusing on one small...
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, that's for another day. We're going to be focusing on one small part. We're going to be looking at the exclusives coming up for the PlayStation in the 2012 versus what Xbox actually has to offer. Okay, so like, just like a look ahead with 2012. Way too far down. Okay, just with Sony alone, we have Twisted Metal, which just came out last week. Starhawk, the new Sly Cooper, The Last of Us, Final Fantasy 13 Versus, The Last Guardian, Agent, 514 Dust, and that's not even including the 30 or so Vita games that are obviously going to be exclusive to the Sony brand, including the Uncharted Golden Abyss, as well as the BioShock Vita game that's only coming out for Sony as well. Microsoft's response to all this, Halo 4 and a couple of stupid motion control games. Initial reactions from you guys. I got a couple bullet points we can go on after that. But
well, out of that entire list, I'm really only excited about two games, which are Dust 514 and Starhawk.
Okay.
I mean, like, you're right. Like, 360 is kind of running out of exclusives at this point. Because you got Gears just wrapped up.
They could restart the Gears campaigns on the other side. We could play as well.
But they're not going to be ready to go in 2012.
Would still be awesome.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the Gears series is dead. I just think that, well, obviously Dom's story wrapped up, but
Dom is dead.
But I think Marcus's portion of the universe is over, because I know from Jason telling me a lot about the Gears universe. He went in great depth and read all the books and everything, and there's like a whole big universe. It doesn't just revolve around those, their squads. So there could be a lot of ways they could branch off, but the game won't be ready till 13 at the earliest.
Right.
You got Forza, which that will be until 2013.
I think that's going to be a launch.
Yeah, 2013.
I think that's going to be a launch title, personally. Forza 5?
Possibly, yeah. But Forza 2 was, correct?
Off. Yeah, it was one of them.
Yeah.
It wasn't launch, it was launch window.
What other exclusives do they have they could bring back?
That's all they have is Halo. This is like a really... Okay, but see, that brings up the interesting point. Okay, because last year...
They also have Alan Wake.
DLC.
Whatever, they can make a full-fledged game.
Yeah, but I wasn't counting all the smaller games that are going to come out on PSN, and obviously, they got Summer of Arcade and stuff for Xbox, which is going to have 5 exclusive, but I'm talking retail games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And see, that makes the discussion more interesting, because if you look back at 2011, Sony had, Infamous 2, Resistance 3, Ratchet and Clank All for One, The Show 11, Killzone 3, The Echo and Shadow Colossus Collection, Little Big Planet 2, Motorstorm Apocalypse, No More Heroes, Pixel Junk Shooter, SOCOM 4, Uncharted 3, and with the exception of Uncharted 3, none of those games sold really well, and they're all very, very good games. Microsoft had Forza 4 and Gears 3, and they both sold very, very well.
Well, that's because it's Forza, and it is hands down the best racing game ever.
That's what I'm thinking. Is it maybe that Sony's spreading all their eggs into too many baskets, and they can't put enough marketing or research or advertising time behind each individual game, and Microsoft's backing their actual 2 or 3 releases that come out a year? They're putting huge campaign dollars behind them, and they're selling a lot better because of that?
That could be. Because I know Microsoft does, when it does have an exclusive, they're everywhere for months on end, even if it's out already.
I mean, I don't think it's that the Sony games aren't as good, because I played 95% of that list I just read off, and I even kind of did a little math this morning, and they got an average of 8.75 from Game Informer, the games that I just listed off for PS3. The same 2 games got a 9 on Xbox, so it's 0.25 difference. So it's not that Xbox is making, exceedingly better games.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Well, even in the console sales, PS3 was in 3rd place this year as well. Behind Wii, it was 360, then Wii, then PS3 for this year's sales. Xbox definitely has more users in the US, that's for sure. I don't know, it's just lack of people here want to play their PS3.
It could be. It could be. I'm just wondering if this is the year that PS3 perhaps finally passes the Xbox in sales. They're really not as far back as they were. Plus, the Xbox had an entire extra 10 months-ish, 11 months, call it a year. They had about a whole year before the PS3 released.
Right.
They should be a full year's worth of sales ahead of them, and they're really not. You're talking a few million units. You're talking, I think it's around 60 million for the Xbox and like 57 or 58 for the PS3.
Yeah.
And they've had one less year on the market.
The PS3 is also $50 cheaper.
Well, when you go comparable hard drives.
Well, no, base model with a hard drive, Xbox 250 gig hard drives, $300.
Well, that's not their base model. Their base model is the 4 gig, which is $199.
Not if you want to play online.
Or do anything.
That's still the base model.
It's still the base model. It's ridiculously, I don't know, in my opinion, it's stupid just because it's, it's for the people who aren't really sure if they want to go into it full on yet. But
right.
I think it's a great trick because they're like, oh, it's only $200. Then as soon as you get home, you're like, shit, I really need to go spend that $130.
Yeah.
And get that bigger hard drive when I should have just
and I think that's why they came out with a little bit bigger of a hard drive because originally the 250 gig hard drive was only $100 to buy, so they would actually not really lose any from that.
Well, no. Originally it was 130, and then
it?
when the 320 gig hard drive came out, it dropped to 100.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah, that would be an extra like $30-$40 they were getting out of you.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think, back to what I was saying, I think a lot of this problem stems from Microsoft. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, like, within the last year and a half maybe, but Sony has been just swallowing up all these smaller companies, all these development studios that are making just that's why they have a game coming out every month solely under the PlayStation brand, and Microsoft hasn't really been doing that. The only studio that I've heard Microsoft buying in the last 2 years is Twisted Pixel, the guys who brought the Gunstringer and the Cosmic Jumper and
Explosion Man
and Missplosion Man. Those guys are awesome. They're great developer. Good job Microsoft locking them up, but that's all they've done. And Sony, I'm reading about literally, some of them are really small studios or whatever, but nonetheless, Sony's trying. They're building this entire arsenal of developers behind them that are making games solely for the PlayStation brand. I don't know. I think maybe Microsoft's kind of slipping. They're not planning as well for the future.
Could be.
But I don't know. I think they may be relying on how many users they have already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because still in a year, the biggest sales are not exclusives. It always relies on Call of Duty and Battlefield or Medal of Honor for this year, but so they're not. I don't think they're as worried as much just because they have those big titles that they make more money on than their exclusives that they have.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's what I was saying. I don't even know what side of the argument I'm on.
Yeah,
because I'm just kind of like I was hoping we'd all work through this together. I really don't know if Microsoft's in trouble or not.
That's why I don't think they're worried about it. Just for that fact that that's not their big sales of the year. I mean, they still every game that sells, they still take a cut of it. It's not that they get more from their exclusives, but they're still taking $5-10 for every Call of Duty. And I mean, it's like I don't think it's that big of a deal to them.
Well, then Microsoft also has another financial backing with Windows and Office and all that stuff that Sony doesn't have. Sony doesn't have an operating system.
They don't have Bill Gates.
They don't have Bill Gates.
Yeah, but Sony's one of the biggest electronic distributors. They have
still not as much as Bill Gates though. And
I'm not even trying to compare Microsoft to
here's,
Sony, but Sony's a big company.
The other thing is
PlayStation's one little aspect of them.
The other thing is between Sony and Microsoft, hardware costs money to build. Software, after you pay people, it's all profit.
Yeah. Plus, Sony's actually been losing money the last couple of years, but not not PlayStation's fault. PlayStation's making money. I'm talking about Sony as a TV and big manufacturer. They're losing money the last couple of years.
I think Sony's going to take a hit with the Vita.
Yeah, I do too. Handhelds just aren't selling.
I hope not.
And they're way too fucking much money.
Yeah, that's the thing. They just,
I hope they do well. I like Sony as a company. I mean, I make no secrets about it. I like the 360 better than the PS3, but I love my PS3 too. It's not taking anything away from it, but I just hope that Sony sticks around. I don't want this to become a two-horse race where it's just Microsoft and Nintendo, because Nintendo is so far behind on everything. Like that, I just don't want Microsoft to be able to run amok without anybody challenging them, because that's when people get sloppy, is when there's no competition.
Yeah.
Microsoft's a full generation ahead of Nintendo. I'm sorry for the Nintendo fanboys. They're like, oh, but what about Zelda? They're good games. They are. They are still a full generation behind. They really are. They're talking.
Which coming back to Zelda, I started playing Skyward Sword.
Oh yeah.
Very disappointed in the beginning.
Really? What don't you like about it?
Why am I in high school?
It's 5 minutes, dude.
No. And now I have to go find my fucking bird.
Yeah, Zeldas are more childish. That's how they are. There's no talking. There's no. It's that universe that they create.
No, I want a super serious Zelda game. That would be absolutely phenomenal.
I'm also a very big believer that handhelds are going to die off with mobile phones. Mobile phones have more sales game-wise than every system combined, and like double that.
That's the problem. Is
it's everyone's going to mobile, and the handhelds are suffering.
They're trying to hit that small percentage of the market that actually wants the full-fledged games in handheld. Because when I want a true AAA cinematic experience, I'm playing it on my 46-inch TV.
Yeah,
in my bedroom, lying down in comfort, with a controller in my hand. I'm not bending my neck over for 8 hours at a time, staring at a little tiny 4-inch screen or whatever. That's why the mobile games work so well. Is they're just like little. You're sitting on the can for 5 minutes and you're just playing a little game. That's what they're for. They're not for big, full gaming experiences, I guess.
Right.
Right, indeed. So, I don't know. What do you think? Did Microsoft blow their load last year? So to speak. Because they had anniversary.
Over society.
Because they rounded off the Gears series. They came out with the Halo anniversary. They didn't announce Halo 2 yet, the remake, which I think needs to be redone as well, just for the multiplayer aspect.
Right.
Plus, it's the only Halo missing achievements from the entire Halo universe. Yeah, the entire universe. It's the only one missing achievements. So I think they should have announced that and had it been like a mid-year release, like nowish, to get everybody pumped, or 3 or 4 months even before Halo 4 comes out.
Yeah.
Because I think Halo 4 is the last Halo game on this current generation. And I think it's going to be silly if they remake Halo 2 for the next generation, because, again, it'll still be the only Halo not on this console.
Right. Good point.
No?
No, I'm good. You guys got it.
Do you need a pillow, Mark?
No, I'm good.
The pills are kicking in?
Yeah, pills, Monster, and water.
That's like so counterproductive.
I know.
I vote pizza next. I'm getting a pizza after this.
Got anything else for tonight?
Well, I don't know if Sony needs to narrow their focus, because that was the last part. That's actually the last part I wanted to touch on with this whole argument is with how many games they came out. I mean, you heard the insane list I listed off before, and the one that's coming up for this year, and the games don't sell nearly as well. And maybe they should streamline and come out with fewer games a year, maybe 5 or 6 titles as opposed to 15 exclusives a year or so, and then they'd be able to better focus on something that only comes out every couple months. Because even like I mentioned last week, I mean, the biggest 3 games I think that came out last year was Uncharted 3, Killzone 3, and Resistance 3. Those are the 3 big ones. And okay, the entire Uncharted campaign consisted of Nathan Drake eating a Subway sandwich. That's stupid. That's fine if you want to whore Nathan Drake out like that, but it's not a very good campaign. It's the same thing like what they're doing with the Vita now. Like, the only commercial I've seen is a Taco Bell commercial that's giving away a Vita. It's not an actual Vita commercial.
Oh, Taco Bell sounds good too.
Resistance, the only commercial was Kevin Butler riding around on a horse, hawking the move. He wasn't even, at the end he's just like, and go buy Resistance 3, by the way.
Yeah.
And Killzone 3 was the exact same thing. Killzone 3 actually, I think, had the biggest campaign out of those. It still sold like shit. And that, again, was just Kevin Butler trying to push the move. He wasn't even talking about Killzone 3, which was, I don't know if you guys remember back on the PS2 versus the Halo days, the original Killzone was the, quote, Halo killer, and we see how well that worked out.
Yeah.
So, you guys got thoughts on any of that?
Because Halo is totally dead.
Yeah, and Killzone's obviously thriving.
You actually think that?
No.
Okay.
Sarcasm. Very, very sarcastic. You guys can't see me rolling my eyes through the microphone, obviously, but yeah, I was doing that.
Maybe next week on a live video broadcast.
That's what I'm talking about.
With a special guest.
Well, if you guys got any points you wanted to add to that, but besides that, I'm pretty much, that was my topic of the week.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much good today.
Well, I have one more email if you guys want to.
I would love to take another email.
This is from our special guest for next week.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he's already got plans because we're all Apple haters, and he has an iPhone.
Yeah.
All right. So his email reads, "What do you feel is the greatest video game score / soundtrack of all time, and why? Also, what is the most distinctive video game sound effects in your opinion?"
Really good soundtrack for me. It's probably a cross between. I really like Alan Wake's soundtrack. Otherwise, Mass Effect. They got a really good score as well.
Soundtrack, Ocarina of Time. Sound effect, the monks from the Halo.
Oh yeah, that's also a good one.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I have two that you guys are probably not going to think I'm going to say.
All right.
Soundtrack, Uncharted, entire series.
Yeah, very cool. It is a good one.
Epic music, you never get sick of it.
Yeah.
And you don't even notice it's there.
And
it's so subtle unless you're listening for it.
It's all true.
And here's the one that's actually probably going to shock both of you. Sound effects.
Okay.
Hunted.
Didn't really play it.
Yeah, I don't
the
know
Bethesda
what
game.
Yeah, I don't know what the sound
effects are absolutely incredible. They recorded everything. They had a line of microphones recording an arrow.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah. Every little sound effect from Hunted was real.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, if you go like that,
they were hitting swords on rocks, man.
Yeah, I know. Gran Turismo does a very, very, very good job as that.
Fuck Gran Turismo! I'm so pissed at them.
I'm not talking about the actual racing. I'm talking about the sound. It's actually the amount of boom mics that they put on the real car, every single car in there. They just surround it with microphones and run through the gears, run through the engine noises, and put everything on. What you're actually hearing when you're playing the game is the actual car going through its paces.
Yeah.
So that's really cool too.
Forza 4 actually made a big jump in that compared to Forza 3. Forza 3 was a lot of stock sounds, and Forza 4 had actual cars.
Yeah, they just added decibels when you changed out an exhaust, whereas nowadays I know they're actually I know Gran Turismo did that. They had sponsorships through Flowmaster and Borla and big exhaust companies like that, and they'd take the stock one, then they'd stick the modified exhaust on, re-record, and when you actually upgraded, you'd get the new. That's why it costs so much to make those games.
Right.
It's ridiculous. So.
That's why they don't come out very often either.
Yep. Some big production time.
Yeah, Forza's got a 2-year gap between everyone. And Gran Turismo had, like a decade?
Probably. It got delayed more than anything
more than
ever
once.
in the history.
You don't count the prologue?
No, I'm not counting prologue.
Yeah.
Because that was a glorified demo.
Yeah.
That's all it was. It was to show people the tech and to build some more money, because I think they were running out of development dollars, because it was already 5 years in between games, and they're like, we could put this thing out for, what was it, $30, make a buttload of money, and then stick that back into development. So,
yep.
But I don't know if you guys got anything else to add.
No, I got nothing.
That about wraps up podcast number 2. Please send in all your questions. Facebook, like us. Let us know how you guys like the show so far, what you guys want us to add or subtract from what we're doing. If you guys want us to touch on anything, send questions throughout the week. And besides that, we will talk to you guys next week.
Next week with special guest
first
Jason.
ever. Yeah, our first ever special guest.
Who is actually mine and Tony's boss from 4 months ago, whatever, something like that. Over the holidays.
We're excited to have him. So, all right.
Have a good week, guys.
Have a good week.